We've coded up the majority of this game now already. All that's left to do is to define the two situations where we might get game over. And that is detecting collision with wall and detecting collision with tail. So let's tackle the easier one first. We want the snake, once it gets past a certain point that's very close to the four walls, to trigger the game over sequence. So we know that we have a 600 by 600 screen, and the X and Y axis go to 300 and minus 300 at all four sides. So if we create a boundary box that's say 280 here, 280 here, minus 280 and minus 280, then as soon as the snake head touches that position, then once it zooms past it, then we can say that the snake has pretty much hit the wall. Now, this number is not perfect. It's just what I found to work after doing a lot of testing. And this is the case with a lot of games. You have to test it, run it, see if it works the way you want it to. But let's go ahead and add a comment, detect collision with wall, and let's create our if statement. So what we want to say is if the snake.head has a x coordinate that is greater than 280, so it's gone too far to the right, or if it has a x coordinate that is less than minus 280, so it's gone too far to the left, or if it has a y coordinate that's greater than 280, so too far to the top, or if it has a y coordinate that is less than minus 280, so it's gone too far to the bottom. If any of these four situations occur, then it basically means that the snake has hit the wall. So what do we want to happen when the snake hits the wall? Well, we want to change this game is on to false, because what that's going to allow us to do is to exit the while loop and basically end the snake movement and end the game. Let's go ahead and test this out. So let's let the snake hit the wall, and you can see it no longer continues moving forwards. But for the user, this might be a little bit confusing. It doesn't seem like it's actually game over. It seems like it's just crashed. So let's go ahead into our scoreboard, which does a lot of the writing, and let's create a new function, which is going to be called game over. And this game over function is going to simply just write some text, not the score, but instead it's just going to write game over onto the screen using the same alignment and the same font. But instead of writing it at the position which we initially defined, which is right at the top, let's go ahead and get it to go to the center, which is at 0, 0. So now when the snake hits the wall, not only does the snake stop moving, but we're also going to get the scoreboard to trigger the game over sequence. So that means when it hits the wall, game over shows up in the middle of the screen, and you can still see the score that was written previously because we don't actually hit clear before we write this game over. And this means that the user can see that the game is over, the snake has stopped moving, and they can see their final score. So let's try to score some points. And once I've done that, I'm going to hit a wall and it's game over, and I can see that my score was 2.